This enchanted space exists just outside Karachi. It's a vast forest of incredible beauty, hiding many surprises. A place uninhabited by people and full of life. I'm Tariq Alexander Kessa, and over the last decade I've visited this magical place almost every Saturday.
We're standing here in the middle of a creek in Mandal Island. These are Karachi's mangrove forests. They're lush, they're healthy, and they grow profusely. We still have them with us. But for how long? Because all is not well, and they are being cut. They're being cut at a rate that will deplete this forest very, very soon. The destruction of this forest will have ecological impacts that will reach beyond our generation. But there are still almost pristine sections of forests left, and the Brahmani kite shows us the way in. The waterways are vast and unknown to us, but an egret takes over from the kite to guide us. The channels meander and twist, expand and constrict. Here old and tall mangroves are still standing. We skirt around them into a dead-end lagoon. And my most magical memory on this very special day. It's a moment I shared with the Brahmani kite. But there's so many other stories this forest and the old trees can tell. Our delta has been the very reason that our shores and our coastline have been so prolific in the production of fish. Taimur Mirza is with me. He's a conservationist, a photographer, and a core member of our team. You know, the fact that this forest exists just adjacent to Karachi is astounding.
Exactly. And large part of the population, Karachi, this concrete monstrosity, is totally unaware of it.
Absolutely.
In early spring, mangroves bloom with a million flowers. A golden halo surrounds the dark leaves, and a wonderful fragrance permeates the forest. Fresh leaves seem to glow in olive green, speckled with grains of white salt. The tiny flower is just half a centimeter across, but somehow it's still radiant, full of the wonderful life growing within. There is life and death here. So many species and so many life forms, seen only when we look.
Let me introduce you to some of its residents. Mudflats come alive when one is still and calm. Perhaps the most charismatic resident is the mud skipper.
Every centimeter of the mud is alive, on the surface and below. This is a bloodworm. We use it as bait, and the habitat needs it as a vital aerator of anaerobic soil.
Sometimes even shrimp jump into our boat. When tides recede, shrimps get washed into the mudbank channels, and when our boat enters these shallows, they panic and try to escape. These waters are prolific. The shrimps grow fast, 4 months to become large, and the catch is still substantial, even close to the city. This is because of the mangroves.
In spite of the destruction of these mangroves, some of the migrating birds have been returning, and somehow the ecosystems have been coping with the pollution. For me, the most spectacular is the flamingo. The resident and migratory population was large. They left Karachi's islands last year due to mangrove cutting and poaching. The flamingos I photographed here in 2018 did not return in 2020. Men walk on mud. They hunt crabs, collect shells, housing life, and seek clams, razor clams. The sun sets on these once famous oyster beds. Karachi. So much that has suffered because of progress.
Pakistanis are doing incredible work in replanting mangroves on denuded lands. The Forest Department and a host of organizations are very actively working on replenishing the delta. The work is truly admirable and commendable.
However, the areas that desperately need replantation have few sources of sweet water, and the growth of mangroves there is slow. On the other hand, the forests on Karachi's islands adjacent to the Karangi Creek still have some of the largest and oldest of mangrove trees. Some of these have not been cut. These need to be protected and preserved for future generations. There's only one certain way to protect the beauty of these critical forests. It is to create a nature reserve on our islands, a marine protected area. A place that is still so alive could continue for the benefit of all, where plants and animals can thrive and an already existing symbiotic relationship between man and nature can be sustained. I hope we don't miss this chance for our benefit and the generations that will follow us.